Welcome to the Soul of Nations, where every land has a story and every people a spirit. Japan, why a small nation commands the respect of the world. Japan is a small country, a chain of islands in the vast Pacific, constantly shaken by earthquakes, battered by storms, and surrounded by powerful neighbors. By every rule of history, Japan should have been weak, and yet it is one of the most respected nations on Earth. Why? Why do people all over the world admire Japan's discipline, its technology, its culture, its people? Why does a nation that lost everything in war rise again with dignity instead of anger? The answer is not in its economy, not in its military, not in its cities. It is in something deeper, a way of thinking, a way of living, a way of facing suffering without losing honor. Japan was shaped by disasters, by fire, by loss, and instead of breaking, it learned how to become unbreakable. This is not the story of a rich country. This is the story of a resilient soul. This is Japan. A land that teaches humility. Japan is one of the most dangerous places on Earth to build a civilization. It sits on the meeting point of 4 tectonic plates. The ground shakes, volcanoes breathe beneath the cities, typhoons arrive without mercy, the ocean can rise and erase entire towns. And yet, Japan did not become bitter, it became humble. In many parts of the world, humans believe they dominate nature. In Japan, people learn early that they do not. A single earthquake can undo decades of work. A single tsunami can humble even the strongest buildings. A single season can determine whether crops survive. So instead of trying to conquer the land, Japan learned to coexist with it. This is why Japanese architecture feels light and flexible. Buildings are designed to move, not resist. Cities are built with evacuation routes, not illusions of permanence. Even Japanese gardens reflect this mindset. They do not force nature into symmetry. They allow stone, water, moss, and trees to exist as they are, slightly wild, slightly uneven, alive. This constant awareness of fragility shaped the national character. People do not assume tomorrow will come. They prepare, they save, they plan. And when disaster strikes, they line up quietly, help strangers, and rebuild, because they know suffering is not personal, it is natural. This is where Japanese calm comes from, not denial, but acceptance. When you live in a land that can destroy you at any time, arrogance becomes dangerous. So Japan chose respect instead. Respect for the earth, respect for time, respect for each other. And from that humility, a powerful civilization was born. The discipline of everyday life. Discipline in Japan is not loud. It does not come from fear. It comes from identity. From childhood, Japanese people are taught a simple truth. Your behavior is a reflection of everyone around you. In school, students clean their own classrooms. They serve their own lunches. They take care of shared spaces. Not because adults are lazy, but because responsibility builds character. You are not taught to obey rules. You are taught to be worthy of trust. This creates something rare, a society where order does not need to be enforced. Trains arrive on time not because of punishment, but because being late means disappointing others. Streets stay clean not because of heavy fines, but because leaving trash means shaming yourself. Even silence on public transport is a form of discipline. You do not speak loudly because you are aware that your noise becomes someone else's burden. This mindset is called omoiyari, the habit of imagining how your actions affect others. It is emotional intelligence turned into social law. And when millions of people practice this every day, a miracle happens. Society becomes smooth. Less friction, less conflict, less waste of energy. This is why Japan feels calm even in crowded cities. Because discipline is not external, it is internal. And when discipline lives inside the people, order becomes effortless. The samurai spirit that never died. The samurai were not simply warriors, they were a philosophy of how to live. In the West, strength often means winning. In Japan, strength meant being worthy of respect, even in defeat. This code was called Bushido. It taught that honor was more valuable than life, that discipline was more important than comfort, that duty came before desire. When the age of swords ended, the samurai disappeared, but Bushido did not. It quietly moved into the heart of everyday Japanese life. You see it in how people approach work. A Japanese craftsman does not aim to be good enough, he aims to be correct. Not correct in a technical sense, but correct in a moral one. To do something poorly is not just a mistake, it is a failure of character. This is why a sushi chef may train for 10 years before touching a knife. Why a factory worker repeats the same motion thousands of times until it becomes perfect. Why an engineer feels personal shame when a product fails. This is Bushido without armor. The samurai once served their lord. Now, the Japanese serve their role in society. A teacher serves students. A train conductor serves passengers. A street cleaner serves the city. No job is small because service itself is honorable. This creates a culture where dignity is not tied to status, it is tied to responsibility. And that is why Japan works. Not because it has fewer problems, but because people face those problems with a sense of duty that goes deeper than law. The sword was replaced by conscience, but the warrior spirit remained. Beauty in imperfection. In most cultures, beauty is something to be achieved. It is polished, it is edited, it is filtered. In Japan, beauty is something to be accepted. This philosophy is called wabi-sabi, but it is not just an aesthetic, it is a way of seeing existence. Wabi-sabi says that nothing lasts, nothing is finished, and nothing is perfect. And instead of fearing this, Japan embraces it. A tea bowl with a crack is not thrown away, it is repaired with gold. The damage is not hidden, it is honored. This practice, called kintsugi, reveals something profound. The break becomes part of the story. The scar becomes part of the value. This idea runs through all of Japanese culture. Old temples are rebuilt again and again, not to preserve the wood, but to preserve the spirit. A fading kimono is more beautiful than a new one because it carries time. A falling cherry blossom is more meaningful than a blooming one because it reminds us that beauty is temporary. Japan does not try to freeze perfection, it watches it pass. This shapes the Japanese emotional world. People learn to feel deeply but express quietly. They learn to let go. They learn that sadness and joy are not opposites, they exist together. That is why Japanese art often feels gentle, minimal, and slightly melancholic. It is not empty, it is spacious. It leaves room for the viewer to breathe. In a world obsessed with youth, speed, and flawlessness, Japan offers something wiser, that aging is not decay, that loss is not failure, that imperfection is what makes life human. And in that quiet truth, Japan finds a beauty that never goes out of style. Rising from ashes. Japan has been destroyed more times than most nations could survive. Earthquakes flattened its cities. Firebombs turned neighborhoods into oceans of flame. 2 atomic bombs erased entire populations in seconds. And yet, Japan did not collapse into bitterness. It chose dignity. After 1945, Japan was not just physically ruined, it was morally shattered. The old identity of empire was gone. The warrior state was defeated. The future was uncertain. But instead of clinging to the past, Japan did something extraordinary. It took responsibility. No victimhood, no endless blaming, no denial. Only work. Millions of people returned to factories, farms, and classrooms, not because they were forced, but because rebuilding was a moral duty. This is a key difference. Some nations recover through anger. Japan recovered through purpose. Companies did not try to get rich first. They tried to become reliable. Workers did not demand comfort, they demanded competence. Engineers did not chase innovation, they chased improvement. This philosophy is called Kaizen, continuous, humble progress. One small step every day. No shortcuts, no ego. This is how a bombed-out nation became one of the most advanced economies on Earth. Not through miracles, through patience. Japan teaches the world something difficult to accept. You do not rise by pretending pain never happened. You rise by honoring it and moving forward anyway. That is why Japan is not just successful, it is resilient. Why the world respects Japan. The world does not respect Japan because it is powerful. It respects Japan because it is consistent. Many nations are strong when times are good. Japan is disciplined even when times are hard. This is rare. You see it in Japanese products. A Japanese car is not designed to impress, it is designed to last. A Japanese train is not built to look modern, it is built to arrive on time, every time. A Japanese camera, knife, or watch carries an invisible promise: we will not fail you. Trust is more valuable than innovation, and Japan understands this deeply. You also see it in how Japan treats the world. It does not shout, it does not threaten, it does not boast. It contributes. Through technology, through culture, through reliability. Even in diplomacy, Japan behaves like a craftsman, quiet, careful, and precise. This creates a powerful reputation. When Japan commits, it delivers. And when mistakes happen, Japan does not hide them. It apologizes. It fixes them. This builds something no military can buy: credibility. That is why Japanese brands are welcomed, why Japanese tourists are respected, why Japanese culture is admired. The world does not fear Japan. It trusts Japan. And in a world full of noise, trust is the strongest form of influence. The soul of Japan. Japan is not defined by how much it owns. It is defined by how deeply it cares. In every careful movement, in every silent bow, in every craftsman perfecting a single detail, there is a quiet promise to do things with honor. This is a nation that understands something rare, that true strength does not shout, it stands. Japan has faced earthquakes, fire, and war, yet it never lost its dignity. It bends, but it does not break. It changes, but it does not forget. And that is the soul of Japan. A small land with a very large spirit, one that the world will always respect.